WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studio.
You're alive.
With 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The Larry Steinhouse Show.
Really? Like really? Really? You need to wake them up, not to demonstrate what they are.
I still can't stand that show that's on before us. It is so boring that I had to wake up, I'm sorry.
We have a caller and it's her actually.
We have a what?
A caller and it's her.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. Sure. Sorry. All right, everybody. This is Larry Steinhouse. Welcome to the Larry Steinhouse Show. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We are broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I am Larry Steinhouse. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling, and I'm here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including Glenn Page.
Okay.
Not you this time, Glenn Page this time.
I know why, because he's sweet.
He is awesome.
He is sweet. I love Glenn.
On this show, I never get through the intro.
Never.
You didn't even start with the intro
on
this
this
time.
show, I never get to the intro.
Next,
I know, but you don't even start with the intro.
Maybe you should do the intro and then we'll get into the studio. After you do the
I
intro.
leave you guys outside?
Exactly.
there's an idea.
That's an idea, yeah.
I could just mute you guys.
Yeah, that's another option.
All right. On this show, we discuss several ways of making more money. Most people are like, right now, they're rubbing their eyes anyway. They're rubbing their eyes. They're going, well, what was all that noise I just heard? Oh, my God. So, we got to give them some time anyway. All right. We concentrate on real estate investing, stock options trading, the stock market, and how to maximize your retirement funds. And you could call us anytime during the show at
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939. I'm sorry, 1137.
So you know what happened? You know why Omri did that? He saw Kimmy was listening. So hi, Kimmy. We see Kimmy on.
Oh, I thought it was because I was
YouTube.
taking off my shirt.
it was. I didn't see
stretching.
Kimmy. I love Kimmy, but I didn't see Kimmy.
I was
for
stretching,
some reason.
and when I was
Debbie was
stretching,
taking
She
her
was.
boobs
She
out.
was
Yeah, right.
trying to take her boobs out.
I was taking my boobs out, and then I started taking off my
noticed,
shirt.
yes,
and I didn't know what's going on.
That's because I'm wearing a tank top, and you
I
can
know.
see them more.
Are we still in the intro? Are we still? Yeah, we're still in the intro. Right?
Aubrey's over here staring. Here,
No, I'm just
let me
saying.
take off my shirt.
No,
so you can see
no, don't.
Our ratings just
show
shot
has
up.
gotten out of control, Glenn. It's just totally out of control.
I
There
just
you go.
left the
This is
I
synagogue.
mean, Debbie's taking her clothes off.
There you go. There you go.
Omri's using something to keep himself from looking. I mean, this is we've just totally gotten out of control. I don't even know what to do here.
Should I
I mean,
unbutton
if
my
you're
pants?
watching
too,
online, you
Aubrey?
watch Debbie get undressed. You think, what just happened?
Are you dressed?
Well, you wanted everybody to wake up. We're waking
and
up.
for all you people who who are listening for the first time, yes, this is really a financial show.
It is.
And it's not about just Debbie undressing for tips.
Oh, I'm not getting any tips.
We didn't get that. You should put a tip cup.
And we
I
are,
should get a tip cup.
we are live.
Tip cup.
Ah. Laura.
I'm sorry. Let's do the intro maybe from the beginning.
No. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Please leave us a comment. Say hi. So everybody out there say hi. I'm here with my awesome co-host. You can hear them giggling and laughing. Dr. Deb Anderson. That was Dr. Deb Anderson
That
giggling.
is me.
And
I'm always
Omri
giggling.
Morad, known as the Immigrant. We also have our
Sweet.
producer, Glenn Page, ready to take your calls. We're going to put you on the air. You can discuss finances, real estate, the stock market, even politics. So give us a call at
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
The Larry Steinhouse Show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. At Investor Schooling, we teach you things about money I'll bet you never knew. We focus on practical learning, and we will equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock options, tax-saving tips, and the secrets to financial freedom. Our headquarters are right here in Bucks County, but our online courses teach eager investors all over the country. So RSVP for a free class this Thursday night at
investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
So I got to tell you something. I got a phone call
Oh my God.
from a friend of mine.
Okay, that's okay.
It's okay to have friends?
No, it's okay,
okay to
that
have
the
a phone
call
call.
is from a friend.
Oh, okay.
It's okay to have phone calls.
All of the above.
No, because every time we start a discussion about we have a phone call, it's normally those people that want to give you money for your business,
Right. That's
or
true.
they want to extend the warranty for your 95 Corolla.
So I'm going to tell you who this person was.
Yes, it's more important.
This person was the person who I used to share the show with.
Ooh.
Right. So it was Phil.
Okay.
Phil Falcone. Yeah.
Phil calls me up and the other day and he goes, he had a question about something, but he starts off the conversation with, "By the way, I listened to your show and it's really good." I'm like, "Well, thank you. I really appreciate that." And he says, "But what's with the guy with the accent reading the phone number over and over again?"
He didn't know it's me because he knows me.
I know, but it was just really funny. And I said, obviously you don't listen to it all the time. He goes, no. Whenever I listen to it, it's really good. And I said, yeah. I said it's an ongoing gag, and and that's why he goes, well, besides that, I really like the show.
That's nice.
No, that's not nice. That's insulting.
No. So, do you even remember how the phone number started? Do you remember? Do you remember, Larry, how the phone number started?
No.
Okay, so I can tell you because I'm the one who started.
Wait, you can tell us because you're a woman.
No, I can tell.
No, you don't understand.
You
Because I remember.
Men don't remember anything.
No,
I
it's not.
get that.
And women remember everything, right?
A lot of things.
Right.
Yes.
It's like that arguing with a woman is terrible.
Watch yourself here, Mr.
Because
Steinhouse.
every time you argue with a woman, she brings up this thing that happened at.
No.
You remember at 12:07?
No.
In
Okay, so,
1969,
no.
you said this.
Your wife listening.
No. So
she doesn't.
No.
better.
Because I have agreed way back when to never bring up the past. So I only move forward. But anyway, so the whole idea of the phone number came with. Remember, I had said that I always like guys that have an accent, that have a nice accent, and you have a nice accent, so you should say the phone number with your accent because it sounds sexy. So that's how it worked. That's how the whole thing started.
Oh, I know why she remembered.
Why?
She wants to take credit for it.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. I want to take
That's
credit
Debbie.
for it.
Now I get it. Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to that first one
But
and then
it's
see how it
related
comes
to
up.
it's related to the show because we only want to increase our credit.
Increase our credit?
Never mind. So I want to bring a topic,
Okay.
and the topic
Will we all understand what you're talking about? Because most of the time we don't.
No, I know, but that's why we hang out because you always explain to people what I'm talking about. I'm from a different time. Okay,
think?
I used to be young. I'm not young anymore.
Oh, come on.
And yet, I want to tell you something. I have an analogy, a real analogy for you.
38-year-old telling a
Omri with his
61-year-old that he
analogies.
used to be
I
The
young.
last
have
analogy didn't make any sense. But
An
let's see if
analogy,
this one
and
does.
it is related to real estate.
All right, let's go.
I believe that to be a person that sits in Zillow every day and look for houses in Zillow every day is like being home every day and watching porn. And I will explain that. I expected that.
That was good. That was
Do it again. What? Exactly.
That was perfect.
When you go for the most accessible way, normally you don't do enough.
Wait.
You
say that
don't
one more
send
time.
mailers.
I just wanted to make sure you said what I thought you said.
I did. You want me to repeat that?
Yes.
Say it again. What?
I will repeat that. I believe that to look for houses in Zillow all day,
Yeah.
it's like sitting at home and watch porn all
No,
day.
but you said. No,
So
never
something
mind.
after that. What did you say after that?
Yeah,
So I believe. What did I say after that?
I don't know, but hey, Glenn, can you No, I'm only kidding.
Can we start the show again?
Yeah, I think we should.
So, what we always tell people: be active, right? Look for houses not only on the market. Look for houses off the market. Do what you need to do to make something happen for you, and that you do that by acting, and that's
by acting.
by acting.
Like he means like taking
Action.
action.
No, I know. I just
he means
want,
taking
that's why
action.
I'm.
He's just
I-
busting.
making fun
I'm,
of his
I'm
accent.
coming. I'm
Alright.
coming here every week, so
By taking
people
action,
will.
okay, go ahead.
People will make fun of me.
That's right. That's, what we
And-
do. That's why you're here.
And if that's the only thing you do, you look for houses on the market, you won't find the good deals.
Okay.
And that's the same thing.
So you do know the very last house I bought? You know
Yeah.
where I found it?
Yeah,
On Zillow.
me too. Me too. But my question to you is the fact that we saw a house on Zillow and we bought it, because my last house was on Zillow too. How many houses we miss because we didn't get them before they got to Zillow?
Okay.
How many women you missed before she became a porn star.
What are you talking
That's
about?
what I'm saying. Get the thing before it become big. Get the house before it get to Zillow, before all the traffic goes to it. And that's the same thing about everything in life. If you take action before something happened, before something become big, you have more opportunity to get it.
So there's brilliance in what he's saying. It's just not brilliantly said.
Okay, you want to translate me?
Translate you?
Yeah. In American?
I think what you're trying to say
Yes.
is that instead of waiting.
What did he do? I missed it. I was looking at you. What did he do?
I didn't do anything.
He starts licking the microphone.
I didn't.
You stuck out your tongue, started licking the microphone, and staring right at me. That's why I started laughing.
Okay, come on.
And based on the conversation we had when you walked in this morning, it kind of threw me off.
No, I'm just continue.
I just watched it on video. He didn't do anything.
Oh, yes, he did. I am not making it up. I am not making that up.
All right. Well, anyway, good. So he was.
I think your point is.
Put the face mask in front of you so she can't see you.
Okay, come on. Can you please?
I think the whole point you're trying to say is keep moving forward and start taking action. Start looking for the properties, start looking for off-market properties so you don't have to pay the higher price.
Well, he's saying that, but he's saying something more profound.
Okay.
He's saying something that in life, like a lot of people call it fake it till you make it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually disagree with the statement fake it till you make it.
Okay.
I believe you should just become it. Now, there's a difference between fake it till you make it and become it. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people say fake it till you make it, and they're saying, kind of pretend that you're getting there.
No.
Or wear the fancy jewelry, maybe drive the fancy car. You're faking it till you make it. But I disagree. I actually say become it. And when I say become it is you immediately just say, okay, fine. I can have anything I want. And that's how you guys know me. You know how I think, right? If there's anything on the planet that I want, I can buy it. Now, it's not like wanting oh, it would be so nice to have a private jet. That's not the same thing, right? If I want a BMW, just want it, I just go to the store and buy it. All right, that's what I mean. If I want to buy a Cadillac Alante, and go to Florida and drive it back, with Omri and have a really good time, right? I just go do it. It's not a whole lot of money, but I just go do it, right?
Exactly.
Now the funny part is when you just
why? I'm sorry. Why it's faking it?
When you decide, I'm not faking it.
I understand you don't fake it, but you say that some people will do it
because there's an expression out there: "Fake it till you make it."
I'm not sure I understand it.
I'm saying become it.
Okay.
All right, and become it. That's what I'm talking about, right? If you just literally from this moment on just say, I can have anything I want. Now, the really weird part is once you can have anything you want and literally have anything you want, you realize what you really want. And the funny part is most people
don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want, right? Yeah. So we do in our financial IQ. So we have a new program called Financial IQ.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we do in the Financial IQ is we have people spend $1 million. And the funny part is most people can't spend $1 million.
Of course.
They can't figure out what to spend it on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people who win the lottery, well, not all, but a lot of people, the majority of people who win the lottery go broke because they don't know what to do with $1 million. If I handed you $1 million, you would find something to do with it instead of saying, hey, I would like $1 million to do this, 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 and this.
So under the same logic, they don't know what to do with $10,000. And that's
correct.
why they spend it on things that they don't actually need or want.
Right. And a lot of people make the mistake. They also make another mistake where let's say they say, hey, if I had $1 million, I'd buy 10 properties.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why do you have to buy all 10 properties tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Why can't you buy one this month? Why one another month? Why one another month? Why one another month? You know what I mean? So that could be, right? We could do that. And they might add up to $1 million. And you bought $1 million worth of properties. Hey Glenn, I did get your message about let me know if you want to switch. If you want to switch, just go to commercial, and we could switch. All right. So just let me know. All right. Anyway, sorry, that's just a technical thing going on.
No.
So one thing I thought that was really interesting is that how we always talk about how send it out to the universe and the universe provides kind of thing. You know how we talk about that a little bit?
Well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Send it out to the universe, and the universe will provide.
You can say that. I mean, that's that's the whole secret. Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Bible.
I can't live with that. I can't live. You said the Bible, okay?
Yes.
So let's go to the Bible. I don't believe that God helps to people that don't try to help themselves.
No. So,
God will help you, but
so,
you need
by
to
the way,
do
that's not, I don't believe that's a Bible quote.
Okay.
It,
No, it's
it
not
may
a
be reality, but
it's not a Bible
Right,
quote.
right.
It's not
So
a Bible
anyway,
quote.
what I was
But
saying
people
was that.
say,
Hold on, I had a topic that I wanted to do, and then you can
let's-
go into the Bible.
We
thing.
also do have a caller, but so give me a second, Chris. Let these guys finish this argument. We'll get to you in a second. Go ahead.
So
Karen.
one of the things that it was funny because we had a special speaker this past Thursday. We had Dan Zatofsky on, who's awesome, and I really look up to him. And he's an incredible guy. He's an incredible investor, and he's just really an amazing good person. And I remember I saw him a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, at some other events, and then he was, and I saw him. Even a couple months even before that. And Larry and I were both putting together a presentation of the area that we wanted to look at. So I was looking at a place in Arkansas, like an area in Arkansas that I identified that I thought would be really good. And in the last 3 days, I had a wholesaler reach out to me about 2 properties out in Arkansas.
Fantastic.
And then Dan asked me about it, and then something else came up on. We were at a bar last night. Me and my husband were at a bar last night, and something about Arkansas came up. So, because I'm a little falling behind because I'm doing the land flipping thing, so I'm not actively working the Arkansas thing. But clearly, all these signs are saying I need to get back on the thing and start looking back at Arkansas again.
You have decided that you are a real estate investor this year. Now, don't get me wrong. You've been
I know that this is my year.
You got stuck into one property.
Yeah.
And you were stuck there. And remember, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Because you were stuck there, you stayed stuck there, right? Because you kept thinking about it. Now you're out of that property. Now, I mean, you still own it, but
Right.
it's not a major problem anymore. So now you have time to become a real estate investor again.
So I'm more focused this
Right.
year. So
and I focus on Ruskin, and sure enough, I'm finding Ruskin, Florida. I'm finding properties in Ruskin, Florida, and I'm spending a lot of time there, and it's becoming a great place to invest. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's get to Chris. What's going on, Chris? Talk to me about refinancing.
So, love your show. One of the things my family and I had to move in the end of the summer, and the people would not take contingencies like no one is. So I was lucky enough to be able to find a co-signer, a co-applicant for my loan.
Okay, great.
Lady that I've worked with. Now, I ended up being out of work for a little while, and I'm starting back to work, but the jobs that I'm getting back to is contract work. I'm a home health nurse.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I called my real estate guy, and what he's saying is that, first off, I know it's $3,000 I've been told to refinance to get her off of my mortgage for moving forward now that I have the money that I needed. But to get a refinance on my loan, I have to do the contract work for 2 years before anybody will write for me.
Yeah, probably.
Any way around
but
that?
there are exceptions to that, and one of the exceptions is if you've been doing the same work.
Yeah, for longer you can. It's fine.
So you've been doing exactly the same work. Now you're a contractor before you were an employee?
Yeah, I did 11 years of working for 2 major health organizations in the Philly area.
All right, so I just want to roll back to a little more information. Have you missed any payments on this loan or been late on any payments on this loan?
0. None. Nope.
You haven't been. Okay, good. Because if you did, you really hurt the person who co-signed you. And how now is she pressuring you to get off the loan?
We had said initially 6 months. 6 months.
Any real estate agent or any
February.
mortgage broker who told you 6 months, you should find that
I
mortgage
know.
broker
He
or
wanted
real
to
estate
keep
agent
his-
and say
Yeah.
you get her off the loan now, you liars.
I know. He wanted me. No, he wanted to keep. I already burned him once. I had to move twice since April of last year. There was contaminated water issues at the second house.
Oh, wow.
Big old story. But we moved the second time, and he lost his commission on the first. And he wanted me to wait 6 months. I told him absolutely not. We're moving. So I get the game.
I'm not.
I'm confused. But you asked the co-signer, you told the co-signer that you would get out
Yeah,
of the
she
loan in
said
6 months?
It was okay.
In 6 months, you would
And
get out
she
of the
said
loan.
that was fine initially.
Yeah, but
Well,
It's
I would
impossible.
refinance.
Anybody who's been in the business 3 days can tell you that that's impossible. So I would go back to that mortgage broker, and I would say you are the worst mortgage broker. You don't deserve to be on the planet.
Can you
lying
explain
to you like that?
Can you please explain the story? Because as I'm not sure I understand the story 100%.
He needed to buy a house.
Yes.
And he found the house he wanted, and
Yes.
he couldn't get the loan.
Mm-hmm.
So he found a friend to co-sign it for him.
Of course.
And he promised the friend, because the mortgage broker and the real estate agent told him that in 6 months they could refinance the loan, right?
Okay.
So I tell you what, you get that mortgage broker on the phone, and I will make him cry or her cry, because what they did to you is illegal. It's lying. It's disgusting, actually. And now your friend is probably pretty pissed because she was promised something that you guys didn't understand could not be done.
Yeah.
It could not be done. So now, you're probably looking at least a year. So how long have you had this house now?
We moved in August, so we're at, 8 months?
Yeah.
Coming up on 8 months.
Minimum one year. Minimum 1 year. And 1 year, everything has to go in your favor, including the house price going up, your credit staying the same.
If you put money into the house, maybe.
No, I mean, there's so much here that.
Yeah.
And when I say minimum 1 year, I mean like really 1 year, and all the cards have to be in your favor. And right now, it doesn't sound like it.
Now, I do have a question because I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure I understand. Can he change a cosign? Will the bank take another cosigner?
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
No, I mean he could get another loan with another cosigner.
I know, but
Yeah,
you need to wait.
So you can't just change it. No.
Now you know what you need to do. You need to apologize to the woman, saying, "Hey, it wasn't your fault. Hopefully, she's a good friend." And
She is. She's not pressuring me. Thank God.
And let her know that, look, you spoke to somebody who has a brain, and said that it can take probably, and again, even 2 years is probably more likely. And even with the 2 years, if we go into a downfall in the market, what percentage of the house how much of a loan did you take out? What's the loan to value?
It was like 76% loan to value. We got.
All right, so you got some room. So you got some room. Okay, good.
So why did you need the cosign?
I don't know.
Because of his income?
I couldn't get the equity out of the first house.
Okay.
I couldn't get the equity out of the first house to put down because I had to sell it.
Now, when you sold it, what did you do with the money from the equity?
I ended up, I basically borrowed that money from the lady, and I kind of moved it. Like, she lent me the money to put down, and then I reimbursed her a chunk of that money.
So she
was like coming back. So
she gave you the 25%, and when you sold the old house, you gave it back to her.
More or less.
Apparently, it sounds like he didn't give it all back yet.
But one of the questions he did ask is that, since he's been contracting for less than 2 years, can he get a loan? And I want to just say one thing to that, because when I started freelancing, I was in the process of buying a house, and they said the same thing to me. But since I was doing the same type of work for like 10 years before that, it didn't matter, even though I was
probably 800.
What's that?
Your credit score is probably in the 800s, and you had been doing it for a really long time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my credit score is about 800 as well. So I'm in that same ballpark, and I've been doing it for over a decade. So maybe not a long time, but a while.
Yeah, I mean, that was a stipulation for me, is that I had to be doing the same type of work, and I was doing the same thing. It was just that I went out on my own.
Right. And that's why you may be able to do it. Now, look, we have mortgage brokers that are actually in our class or school.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to me on Monday, and I'll connect you to somebody, who might be able to help you. Like, I'm telling you, I know this business pretty well. He's most likely going to say you need a couple more months, you need at least 4 more months, 1 year seasoning on the house before you're going to be able to refinance it. But
I do have a question for you, just to make sure. If you will refinance the house right now, how much percentage of the house, of the value of the house, are you going to refine right now?
I would not take any money out, so I would just leave. I would refinance down.
Will be the same 75%.
Years and keep the same 75%.
Okay. What's the amount of money that you borrow?
Cash in hand. $550.
Okay, so if you borrow $550, so you're probably looking at fees. You're probably looking at $15,000 easily in fees to refinance the house.
So one thing, and again, we've already established, maybe not the greatest advice I've been getting from the broker, he said there's options of taking a little bit higher percent. They roll the fees in as an option for that he does sometimes.
Wait, I'm sorry. What do you say?
But they roll the fee into the cost.
I don't mean
roll the fee into the
it
loan,
in.
of course.
Yeah,
And that's
you roll
fine.
the fee
That's
No
into
that's
docs?
okay. What?
No points?
No, the points is it's probably gonna be 2 to 3 points. That's why I said 15,000 minimum. It's probably it may even be 23,000 to refinance.
But the points they can't put into the loan.
No, they could no. What he's saying is he borrows the amount of money he needs to cover the fees.
As long as the
So if
mortgage.
he needs $550 to pay off the loan, he borrows $575.
I understand.
You know what I mean? So the mortgage broker is basically like, oh, I can't wait to talk to you because I make money off you. I make more money off you. Instead of being a compassionate person and saying, hey, listen, these are going to be problems. This is what you're going to run into. This is what the problem is going to be. Because he's probably got his mortgage license for 6 months and does 3 deals a year, which is what most mortgage brokers are. Right?
So
you know,
I'm curious. What did he or she told you? Sorry. What did he or she told you when you called them and asked them if they can find you a refinancing deal?
They said because I'm switching. The easy no for them was because I'm switching to contract work. So they used that as no. That was the stopping point before we even got out to it.
is this guy a banker or a broker? Do
Suggesting is
you know if he's a banker or a broker? In other words, does he go out to many loan companies or just one?
yeah, he's a broker.
What was that?
He's a broker, not a banker.
Yeah, good. You need to go to a banker. There are certain bankers that will be able to help you, and certain brokers who know banks that will be able to help you. Look, the probability is 4 months minimum more. That's the probability. Okay, minimum. When I say minimum. But let me at least put you in contact with the right people because this mortgage broker doesn't know anything about anything. If he told you to get out of a loan in 6 months, right away you should say, listen, go find another job, go work at Starbucks because you probably can make coffee better than you could be a loan broker. I hate people in this business, you know that? All right, Chris, you're making all kinds of noise, so we got to let you go. Give us a call on Monday.
And
all right?
you are welcome to come on Thursday.
And you're welcome to pop in on Thursday. Sure, of course. Actually, you know what? Come on Thursday, because that guy will be in the room. The guy we'll introduce you to will be in the room. Okay. So go to investorschooling.com and sign up for class on Thursday. You'll learn something anyway. And on top of that, I'll introduce you to who we're talking
brokers,
to. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man?
Yep.
All right, bud. Take care. All right.
Thank you. So if you have any more questions, you can call us at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. Anything related to real estate, money, stocks, whatever you need. And we will go to commercial break.
Wow. Hey, this is
Claire.
He just takes over the show.
I know.
I
Omri
don't.
totally
He takes
took
it
over.
over, man.
Before you
Totally
finally
took over.
go to Investor School.
He wanted to become it.
You
There
haven't
you
signed
go.
up
He
for a
was
class
becoming.
yet.
There
You're
you
gonna
go.
learn
He's becoming the host of the show.
He is. There you go.
You're gonna learn
I will
things
never
about
come
money
in
that
the
you
studio.
didn't even know
Not fake. He's not faking, baby.
exact.com right
I got the
now.
joke, Omri. I'm blaming
Oh my
myself.
goodness. This
I
Thursday,
don't wanna go in there.
investorschooling.com and take that free class. See you there.
So how is he doing?
Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling.
How's
Listen,
Phil doing?
I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate
Is he
because
still
you don't
living
want to
here?
deal
Is
with
he out
toilets,
in,
trash, or tenants.
No, he's still here.
I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to
What the
deal
hell
with
are you
toilets,
doing?
trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. And I promise you, no
So you guys
toilets,
wanna do
no
road trip to
trash, no
Arkansas?
tenants.
Where's Arkansas?
Hey, this is
20
Larry
right
Steinhouse
away.
with Investor Schooling.
How much?
I've been talking
20
about
right
myself
away.
for all these years. Now
like
it's
2
time for you to
days.
hear from one of our great
Do a road trip
clients.
to Arkansas?
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher. Teaches about the whole new approach to
might
thinking
need to
about
talk
money.
about
I've
this
taken to
commercial.
heart many of the things that he's
Charlie
taught
on
me,
this commercial.
and my financial life has
Oh, when we get back on, you mean?
Come to Investor Schooling, and you
Who is
can
that,
be
Charlie?
just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
Funny story.
Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that we have a radio show right here on
I believe
WPHT
so.
every Saturday at 1 o'clock?
thought.
It's called The Larry Steinhouse Show. And you want
I
to
love
listen
the
to
new
this show
commercials, Larry.
because it's a live show and you can
Perfect.
call in. In fact, here's the call-in number.
855-939-1137.
And when you call in, you can ask us questions about real estate, the stock market, even politics. Make sure you tune in Saturday, 1 o'clock. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling.
All right, are we just about ready? Come
Yeah,
back?
whenever you're ready, man.
There are so
Okay, 30 seconds.
are not the answer. Come learn this Thursday by taking a free class on Investor Schooling. Come to Investor Schooling and you will learn so many different ways that you can make more money in retirement than you actually expected to. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday. That's investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. We'll see you there.
This program is paid for by investors.
You are back.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. Or is it the Omri Show?
No, it's
Omri
the
just
Larry
hijacked the whole thing right before.
You're just jealous that he was
What
able
is
to do
that?
it.
Hijacked
You're
the
just
whole
jealous.
thing.
You're
I mean,
just
it was
jealous.
great. It was just like you hijacked the whole show.
I didn't hijack. Hijack has bad idea when you say hijack. There's no good intent here.
You wanna say usurp instead?
I did what?
Usurp?
Yeah.
I didn't burp. What do you want? This is a real estate show,
was
by
great.
the way, and a money show.
Yeah.
And what are we going to talk right now?
All right,
So,
so
real quick, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. I'm here with my co-host Omri Morad and Dr. Deb Anderson, and we talk about finances. We talk about real estate. We talk about the stock market. We talk about whatever it is you want to call in. You heard me
Yes.
bashing mortgage brokers because most people. The biggest problem in this industry is most of the people who are the professionals in this industry are the most unprofessional people there is.
I-
They don't look long term. They only look
Yeah, they look
short
short-term, exactly.
term. And it's the
Right.
same thing with registered reps.
They look to make a sale instead of making a client.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
Ex-
So
Exactly.
I've been having trouble with that real estate agent out in Utah, and he's really starting to irritate
so
the
get
living
somebody
out of
else.
me. Yeah, so I got
somebody
this
else.
guy who's
But,
just
but
really,
it's you're the same thing in Wilkes-Barre. You remember that you came here one day to the studio and you said, my real estate agent fired me.
yes,
You remember that?
yes.
It's
yes,
the
I
same
remember.
thing.
Yeah, I need to fire. He's awful. The guy's
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
irritating the living heck out of me.
Yeah, and this is real estate agents right now and mortgage brokers right now.
All right,
So,
so you
not all of them.
wanted
Mommy?
to
Passport?
you wanted to talk about
The commercial.
the commercial.
So actually, Kimmy wrote, "I love the new commercial." So thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. But I gotta tell you a funny story about the commercial with Charlie. So you heard the commercial with Charlie. So I go into the studio, and Frank is one who records the commercials. He works with WPHC. I go into the studio.
And Frank, we like Frank.
Yeah, Frank's a really good guy.
Yeah, we like
And
him.
I also like Glenn.
We like Glenn. Yeah.
Yeah, the couple.
We
people
like
there-
everybody.
Yeah, we like
We like
Wait, hold on,
Frank and
you
Glenn.
gotta do it like this, Omri. We like everyone.
No, we
at
like Frank and Glenn.
WPHT.
All right, move on. Go on. Come on.
Back on
Back
track.
on track. Let's go.
So I go into the booth and I'm just about to record a commercial, and my phone rings, and I look down, and it's one of the students. It's Charlie. And I said, hey Charlie, I'm about to make a commercial. I go, hey, by the way, can you give me a quick testimonial? And I literally take the phone and
Put
I
it
put
to
it
the
next
mic.
to the microphone, and he gives me the testimonial right there. So that testimonial was completely unplanned.
Yeah.
It was the commercial was completely unplanned, and it was just really neat that he happened to call. And I could tell you what, the other thing too is that snippet of him talking. Nobody edited it. Nobody changed it. He just said those lines, and then both Frank and I looked at each other like, "Yeah, that's perfect." So it was really great. So
Yeah.
so I found that commercial to be really interesting. That it was just really neat. All right. Anyway, what else? Where are you now?
Me?
Yeah. Were you talking about something that I no?
I guess.
You think?
So you also wanted to talk about the whole radio show thing.
All right. So yeah, we didn't talk. We started to talk about this last week. We really ran out of time. So I actually want to have a conversation with you guys on the air, right, about this situation.
What would you do without me? Because you would never get anything done. I'm telling you, because I'm the only
I
one who
got
keeps
it.
you on
And
track.
I want everybody else to hear it too, including Glenn Page, because I want everybody to chime in on this.
All right.
So what's the phone number, Omri?
That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
All right, to make the story without kind of, putting blame or
Ruffling feathers.
ruffling feathers, this is what happened. So another radio station that's also in Philadelphia wanted to host our show. Which, hey, I'm a businessman, right?
Did they approach you or did you
No,
approach
well,
them?
it was kind of both.
Okay.
Right? I mean, first of all, I don't know if you guys know, listening, we pay for this show. It's not,
They
you know.
heard the show, the new station, because
Yeah.
I'm very curious. Because we always say that we're not
the
sure
funny
that
part,
that people actually.
the station manager hadn't heard the show.
Okay.
And then when they played it for the station manager, they called me up and gave me some warnings.
Really?
But let's forget about that. So another station in Philadelphia,
Philly, yeah.
right? And they put together a package for me, and we were basically going to simulcast this show onto their station. So we would start at 1, we would start at 1 there, and the calls would still come in. We have our own phone number, so it really doesn't matter. The calls would come in, and blah blah blah. Everything would be the same, except we'd be in 2 shows at the same time in
Two
Philadelphia.
stations.
Right, two stations at the same time in Philadelphia. So PHT objected to that idea. They're saying, hey, we don't like that idea. And blah, 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 things happen, and I don't want to get into that part. What I want to talk about is what's transpired since then. So obviously I had to, say no to them. I couldn't do the contract. I love doing this show, and I think more people should hear it. And look, honestly, I'm a businessman. I know if we do this show in other places, we'll also get more business. I mean, that's just reality, right?
Correct.
So we take all that into consideration. I really want to do the show. So they basically said you can't do it at the same time. You can't simulcast it. You could do another show. You can't even call it the same show. If you do it on another station, you could do another show at any other station at any time, but you can't do it at the same time it's on the PHT.
It will be the Larry Steinhouse 2.
No, it'll be it'll actually be Larry Steinhouse Presents.
Okay.
Who cares, right? But here's the situation, guys. So basically, if we do this, right, I need your help. Now, again, I'm asking the audience if they like the idea too. So please call in at
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137.
And if you work for PHT, definitely call in. But here's the deal. So what we would do is we would end this show at 3:00 and immediately start the other show at the other radio station.
For how long?
1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't do another 2 hours. So we would do 1 hour. And it would be, we could pretty much rehash anything we just talked about. It doesn't really matter. But here's the thing, guys. So, nobody gets paid for this show. We all do this show. We have a lot of fun. So the first question I have for you two guys is, would you guys want to spend an extra hour with me?
Howard's over here crying.
So it's more than that, because it's not like hanging together in the office or in a bar.
Right.
It's to do another show.
It's to do another show.
And
exactly.
it's a bit intimidating, and that's why maybe I also want to hear the listeners and what they think.
Right.
If we can fulfill 3 hours.
Now, first of all, the first thing you have
You know
to
what?
understand is we can't mention the station.
No, we
which
can't.
is why I'm not mentioning it now. We can't mention the station, and we can't mention the station while we're on the air. We can't say, oh, by the way, eventually people are going to find us, but we can't actually say, hey, if you'd like, and you really like what we were hearing, so go to another station. We're not going to do that,
Okay.
So what will happen?
We have to make sure we don't say the guy after us is boring, and he talks about annuities, so you really don't want to listen to him anyway, so you should go to the other station. We can't say that.
Is he still there?
You guys, I figured you guys would laugh, but okay.
We
not that
try.
funny,
We
but,
try
you
to. We try. We are waiting to get for the phone call.
You ready for the
So,
phone call?
so I think we also had a lot of reservations from going from a 1 hour show to a 2 hour show.
Yes.
Right.
And it took what, like 3 or 4 weeks, and then we finally
Yeah,
got
and then we
into
really
a
got
groove.
into it. Then we're like, when we do
Now
a 1
it's
hour
fine.
show at 10 o'clock,
Yeah,
we're like,
it's fine.
oh man, the show's over?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, I think
Let's
considering
try it.
what Omri-
What do we have to lose?
Yeah,
Right?
considering what you were saying, I
Let's
think it would
try
take
it.
a month or
Okay,
3 or 4
all right,
weeks
so
to kind of get
you
into
guys
the
are
groove.
for it. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I would say let's
And
try.
I'm
it.
sure
Importantly, if I can't do the show without you guys, I mean I can, but it's just not as fun.
Yeah.
You guys just and we're here anyway.
And
All right, I will let the other person know that we're gonna do it. It'll be on another station, and it'll be right after this. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, but anybody from the audience want to chime in and think that's a good idea? What do you
Please
think, Glenn?
call us.
Oh, you can't say, can you?
No, I can say I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
More Larry, more Dr. Deb, more Omri, even more Omri. Great.
If someone is running to you with a letter right now in the station, run away.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Run.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Run away.
But here's the thing, right? We could talk about this, and you know who's not listening?
PhD.
All the people at PhD who
Make the
would worry
decisions.
about
That was
Yeah.
my question.
None of them are listening.
That was my question regarding Peep. If they heard the show and they liked it, that's awesome.
Do
Because
they even like this show?
No, they had some reservations.
No, not the other.
The other station had some
No,
reservations.
no. I'm talking about this WPHD. Do they have?
So the people who I took, so there's few
Do,
people I
no,
talked
so I'm
to.
saying people at PhD.
Do they like this show?
Who don't listen to our show. Do they even like our show?
how would they answer that if they never hear
I
it?
think they hear it like once every,
The people we know,
Yeah.
including Gary Arnell. You guys have
Gary's
Gary
a nice
Arnell
guy.
loves our show.
He
Yeah,
was, he
Gary's
was
our
in
show,
the
right?
in the party we had in the office.
Yeah, he was
yeah,
there. He was very
right.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So let's put it this way: all the people who came to the party that night love our show.
Okay.
Like Glenn was there, Gary was there, a couple other people. I don't
Frank
want to
was
mention their
there.
names,
Oh,
but
sorry.
a couple other people there. There's also another guy who's a very top level sales manager. Like he's the sales manager of all those sales managers
Okay.
who loves this show.
At PhD.
All right, at PhD.
Okay.
There's the program director, who I'm not so sure likes the show, and I don't think it's he doesn't like the show. I think it's because he and I don't know,
Don't mix.
said something to each other,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
Well, you're
But
right.
that's about it.
Knowing you, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Gary's a lot to take. You have to. It takes a while to get used to you before you like you. Yeah.
Our sales rep, Susan, loves this show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she loves this show. She'll text me during the show and say how great it is, and she absolutely
And
loves
she
this
is
show.
delightful.
As a matter of fact, when we had a fight with PHT,
Yeah.
we like we were literally hours from never being on the air on the air again, and like they were going to replace us on the Saturday. We resolved it on a Friday.
She fighted
before
for
our
us,
show
yeah.
on Saturday. So she was calling me for 2 weeks, going, "No, you got to do your show. Your show is so great." Blah 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 blah. So that was that's her opinion. She loves this show. She may or may not be listening now. Matter of fact, it's funny. You know why nobody's calling right now, right?
Because they're all PhD and they don't want to
No,
get in trouble.
because it's 85 degrees out or 80 degrees out. The first beautiful, beautiful day of the summer. Passport Mommy put the rest of them to sleep. Oh, did I say that out loud? Put the rest of them to sleep, and we're stuck here.
And we are mumbling about
And
WPHT.
we're talking about another station, right?
So let's
And they're
go
like,
back
blah,
to
blah,
the track.
blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, right? What are these guys talking about? Imagine a new listener going, "Who are these guys? What's the story with this guy with his accent? He keeps saying the phone number, and this woman keeps giggling."
I don't want to hear your excuses, Larry. I want you to give them a reason to listen, even at the beach. That's what I want.
Well, they have a reason to listen at the beach. The problem is they didn't bring their AM radio with them.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. That there's a fight right now where
To
car
close AM.
manufacturers
Yeah.
don't even want to put AM radios in cars anymore, and the people of AM radio stations.
How much it costs them to put
But
them
you
in?
can stream it though.
Yeah, you could stream it.
But,
Yeah, you
but
could stream it.
who's streaming this? I mean, you guys are streaming it on TV, but I mean on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. But it's not the same as a radio show. I find it interesting. I always make the joke. If you're listening to the show right now, you're the 8th person listening to it today. And the other one, and that includes my mom.
And my mom is asleep actually.
Yeah, right. Yeah, your mom fell asleep because she was listening to the show before us.
Yeah, but you ever notice sometimes I'll go into Facebook and the show will come up on my feed and there's 130 views or something, which is pretty impressive actually.
Say that one more time.
Sometimes I'll be on Facebook, and the show will come up on my feed.
Right.
And it'll be 140 views or 150 views, which is pretty.
I'm not saying people aren't watching.
No, I know. I just think I think that's impressive, actually, considering it's on Facebook. Because they can hear us. Whoever's listening to us on the radio is listening to us on the radio. But that people are actually going into Facebook and watching it, I think is great.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm very happy that you all enjoyed our company meeting. If you have any concerns about real estate or
Company
money,
meeting?
please call us at 855-939-1137. If you want to give a comment about what we just discussed, 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
I think Omri got tired of talking about it. So
I know.
that's
Omri-
interesting.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
He's
Omri,
taking
like-
over the show. He's
Are you
usurping
bored,
the
Omri?
show today.
I am not bored. I'm Debbie now. I'm trying to keep us back on track
Keep
for
us
a
back on track,
second. Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to talk about
Sure.
the stock? Not the stock option, about the real estate market right now.
So let's talk about the real estate market right now because it's still weird.
It's weirder than what it used to be. You remember that I think a year ago or maybe a year and a half ago, you said we are experiencing a weird time and we will see two houses in the same street. One will go under asking and one will go with a bidding war. And
Correct.
we are actually seeing that right now.
Yep.
They are not the same house. We need to be honest. But we also see that even though the inventory is coming up, it doesn't affect almost at all the prices because the demand is still so high.
Right, and it's the same thing so far. What's happening with the demand is the same problem. The same problem is the people that are living in a house right now
Yes.
that 5 years ago or 7 years ago they paid less than half of what the house is
Well,
selling
maybe
for.
not half, but maybe.
Pretty close.
I don't
pretty
know,
close.
because I've been in my house for 8-9 years, and I mean, not half, but it's funny because I just got a text the other day saying, "Hey, are you interested in selling your house?" And I'm like, "No, I'm living in it."
Let's say it went up 35-40%.
There you go. That's more realistic.
The point is simple. The point is that the people who are living in the house right now couldn't afford to buy that house.
Their
right
house,
now,
yeah, I know.
Right, so they can't move. They're stuck. Right, so the people who have that house, let's say they're paying $2,000-$2,500 a month. Right.
That's the other thing.
Hold on 1 second. If
Yeah.
they were to buy that exact house, the same house they're living in right now, at the price it is right now, it would be about $5,000 a month.
And it's not only because the price of the house, it's also
Because of the
because
mortgage
of the
rates.
rates of the
Right,
mortgage.
exactly.
Yeah.
So even people who want to move and go, I don't want to be here anymore, they can't move. They can only buy a house less money than the house that they're selling, even if they put the large deposit down.
Okay.
Their rate, which even if they would get the same exact mortgage, you're right, the rate would be up,
Yeah.
and a 25 mortgage might be $4,000.
$4,000. I
Right.
know. That's exactly.
So that's the problem. That's why there's houses that are. That's why the houses are selling so fast, because everybody wants. How many bids have we put on?
Gosh. Is we keep. The problem is we keep thinking about what's going on with the market. We keep looking at that, and we always say that it seems like the prices will not crash, but things will calm down.
Right.
We will see maybe that the peak that we saw for the 10%, the peak will be over, and we see a drop of like 10%, and everything will start to be level. We still don't see it, and I will tell you another thing that I see. The house that we just discussed over was bought 2 years ago for 10 grand
Over that what they're asking.
less than
Less
what they are
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
10
More-
grand.
more than what they're
Less,
asking.
No,
10
less. Yeah.
10 grand in
So in other words,
2
they
years.
need to get out.
That's a very good
So
sign.
they paid too much then,
Exactly.
and now they're just trying to even just break even.
That's to me a very good sign.
Yeah.
That's to me a sign that the craziness is a bit over.
Right.
Now, there is a difference between finding the greatest deal in your life that maybe you won't find for your home and finding something in a reasonable price. And I think that we are more into the times that we can find things in reasonable prices, and that's why we see more and more houses in the market. Because more and more houses in the market, like you just mentioned, means more and more people are moving.
Do you think that trend's going to continue where people are just trying to break even just to get out of their house?
It's going to happen. So
I
you
think-
got to remember that people need to move for several reasons. Like they need to move. It's not about just
Move,
hey, I
want
want
to move, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You got people getting divorced. You got people who get new jobs. You got people who lose their jobs. You got people who get sick, disabled, get older. They want to retire. So those people are still here.
Yeah.
Those are the people who are selling their house no matter what. Right. But the other people are like, hey, I mean, even like Linda and I, we look at our house and we're like, it's funny because we were talking about this the other day. We love our house. We just wish it was somewhere else. And when I say somewhere else, my neighborhood, I love my neighborhood. But when I sit on my porch, I see the house in front of me, across the street.
I'm in the same.
We want to see the ocean.
I am in the same position. Don't get me wrong. I love my house.
Your apartment, yeah, right.
I love my rental apartment. I love it. I do want to move to a different area.
Okay.
I do want to move to a different area. I do want to move maybe to a different school district.
Yeah.
I do want to move maybe to a place that I will have more privacy, maybe. I will be...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And your kids are getting older, and they want to decorate their rooms like children do when they get when they start getting the ages your kids are.
They are behind on their rent, so I'm not letting them do anything right now. But
it's funny because I've been really thinking about like I said, both my kids are moving out now, and we got a 4-bedroom house, and I'm not interested in selling it. I won't sell my house. I'll never sell it, or at least not anytime soon.
Right.
But I am thinking about downsizing. Or getting a duplex and living on one side and renting the other half. But the thing is that I
rent
really
your other house out.
Yeah, and then I really like this area because it's just central to everything that I need to do, and I prefer to stay in Langhorne if I could.
I'm in the same way. I'm in the same area. I really like the area. That's why I like my apartment. It's weird. Because yes, when we looked at the prices that were in 2019, 2020, you are very close to say they are doubled.
Yeah, they are very
You
close to
are
double, yeah.
very, very close to the point that they are doubled. And those houses that we look at them right now, they don't worth this amount.
Well, so
They
when you say
maybe
a house
they
not
worth
worth
it
an
for
amount,
you.
It's like, right. So
Exactly.
Here's you know how much something's worth? What someone will pay for
Exactly.
it. So it doesn't matter what it is, a house, a car, whatever,
It's exactly.
What someone will pay for it is what it's worth. So that's what. So the houses are definitely worth what people are paying for them.
That's the first.
It's just that can they find another person to pay more than that or even that again?
Correct.
That's all.
That's the first class seats.
So the other thing I was telling you this the other day.
Yeah.
Because you were like, this house isn't worth it. I'm like, okay, I know it's priced $50,000 over what I think it's worth,
Okay.
and you're going to have to go over asking price to buy it. And the first question you have to ask yourself is, hey, will this make my life better? So I actually said to Omri, I use this as an example. So I personally believe I comped the house out. It's probably priced $50,000, minimum $25,000, but priced $50,000 above what it's worth.
Agreed.
And then I said to you, you're going to have to pay another $50,000 on top of that. So it costs you almost $100,000 more or $100,000 more than what this house is worth for you to buy it.
And then what did I tell you?
And then I said to you, and I asked you a simple question. I said, let me ask you flat out. Would you pay $100,000 to have a better lifestyle or a happier lifestyle for your family? And the answer is
Yes.
yeah.
Normally you will.
And that's what everybody needs to realize is don't worry about the price of the house you're going to be moving into. It's not an investment. People think the house I'm moving into is an investment, so I'm going to get it for the cheapest I can, and I'm going to sell it for more money later. You're probably going to sell it for more money later. There's no doubt that that's true. But if you're buying it as an investment, you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
It's a liability. So now, if you're going to pay that much money a month, whatever it is, or if you're buying a cash, whatever it is, and losing that much interest on your money, then you have to decide, will this better my lifestyle? So that's the same thing with Linda and I. When we look at our house, we love our house. Our house is the perfect size for us. Do we wish it was somewhere else? Yes. But, I look at houses other places, and I'm like, there's no interest. There was that house in Ruskin, which I'm not ready to move to Ruskin. I'm not moving to Florida yet. So there was a house in Ruskin that I really wanted. We had trouble with the HOA because I said, hey, I want to rent it, and they wouldn't let me rent it. I'm like, okay, fine, so I didn't buy it. But that would have been a fine house for us. It had the outside, had a lake outside. The back door had a lake. I loved it. It was beautiful. It had ducks. I sent her. I didn't even send her a picture of the house. I sent her a video of the ducks, and she goes, I want it. I mean, because we both know. I mean, what do we care? We don't care what the inside of the house looks like.
Because you're seeing a scenery. And believe it or not, the scenery that you're seeing is why I live very peacefully with my apartment. Now, I'm weird. When I had money, I put all my money into my rental properties. That's why it put me in a better place financially.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why I'm renting right now. But
no, it was a very good idea.
Also, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I did many calculations that are different than others. We can talk about that. But the point is, I don't care to keep living in a rental property as long as I have the scenery.
And then
I have the scenery.
So it's
your
interesting.
wife and your children.
Yeah.
Your wife your wife is wonderful. She'll support you in anything you want to do.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Right? But she does nudge you and say, "Hey, look, and it would be nice if Oz could decorate his room, and if Rome could decorate her room. That would be nice, right? And when they could have, she could have her pink room, and he could have his blue room, assuming that's how those children are oriented. Anyway, so that's what's probably going on. Then of course you've got family who, what's wrong with you, Omri? You live in an apartment. You own millions of dollars of real estate.
So-
You live in an apartment. What's wrong with you? And you can't let that kind of stuff get to you.
We need to understand that we have norms in life, and those norms sometimes dictate how we need to behave.
No, that's not
And
true.
the problem, no.
No, you have norms.
The fact
but
that
you're
you
the,
fight it better than others doesn't mean it's not true. It's true.
I'm
Some
just saying
people.
that you're the one who you have these norms, but you also impose those norms on you. You don't have to follow those norms. So, and I say this because I grew up very differently, and I'm in a very different lifestyle now than when I was when I grew up.
Me too.
So,
Me too.
So those norms that I grew up with, I didn't self-impose them on myself. Now I got out of those norms so that I could live a better life for me and my family.
All right.
So
we got to wrap this up because we've only got a minute left.
Okay.
All right, so look, that's basically the concept is if you're gonna buy a house for yourself, don't worry about the price. Just go buy the house. If it's a house you're going to live in for the next 7 years, you're going to be happy, go buy the house. Investment property, completely different. You got to do numbers. It's got to make you money to cover it. It's got to make you money to make you money, and then you get the appreciation as a bonus. So don't make the mistake of shopping a house. I mean, especially now when the real estate agent says, hey, you need to put a $50,000 over the price offer, and you say, no, I'm going to offer them $50,000 less because I really don't want the house. That's basically what you're saying. Anyway, this is Larry Steinhouse. Thank you, Omri, for joining us, for being with here, and Debbie for being here, and of course the
Sweet!
Glenn Page for being our producer, and all the callers and all the listeners. I realized that it was very nice out, and you guys listened to us instead. But go to Investor Schooling. That's investorschooling.com, and you can take a complimentary class this Thursday and learn about all the things we talk about. Investorschooling.com.
This program is paid for by Investor School.
Clear.
Their statements expressed on the
Thank
program
you.
are solely
Online,
those
we
of
got another
Investor
hour to
Schooling
go,
or their
so
guests and do not reflect the
hang
opinions
on.
of WPHT or Odyssey.
She's going to the bathroom. Why, you want to go with her?
No, don't go.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio, 1039 FM.
The westbound Schuylkill Expressway through Grays Ferry closes this weekend for construction. A Philly man pleads guilty to third-degree murder in the stabbing death of his wife.
Hey, Larry.
Yo.
He'll celebrate.
It may change. She went to the bathroom, right, Dr. Deb?
Yes.
Yeah.
Her levels dipped a little bit near the end, so
I think she was
I don't
moving
know.
her microphone.
Yeah.
away from the
Yeah.
Never needed us more.
Feel like everything's
That's
clouded
why I'm
by
doing
doubt.
that. Because
Visit
then when I talk to her, I'm also
Our psychics
on the
are
same.
available,
Now you're blasting.
Yeah,
and we guarantee if it's
Yeah.
not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking.
Snakes,
The list
zombies.
of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's
back.
another one. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we provide no-cost digital resources in
You know
place
I
of
don't hear you.
textbooks and most courses. And that's not all. You'll receive your accredited online education at an affordable tuition with a choice
One
from
of the
more
reasons
than
I bought my house is
135
because of the
degree
backyard.
and certificate programs.
You hear me
With
now?
online and hybrid
Yeah,
courses,
so
get
that's
everything you need
exactly
to
the
succeed
point
again.
I'm looking
Learn
at
more
right now.
at
The problem is,
umgc.edu.
and I said it to
Certified
Larry
to operate in
yesterday.
Virginia.
Let's talk about it online, not like that.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours
I
in the
can't hear
day?
you because this
If
thing
you
is
get
way
busy or
too
miss your
loud.
favorite show,
I don't hear you when you talk to the microphone too. You need
Omri's a
to-
little hot, Larry.
No, my
The
fault.
Odyssey app.
You
You
need
can
to be
stream your
closer to
favorite
the mic.
shows on demand. You know your day is
You
better
gotta move
with
the
us.
mic
Okay.
away from
News that
just a
matters
little
to
bit.
you from the local
So why don't
voices you trust.
move the
No
boom
matter
so
what
the
you're up to,
microphone's right in front
give
of
it
you
a
like
try. To get started,
The problem is we
download the
keep
free
doing
Odyssey
that.
app and
Move the
search.
boom so you can do
That's
that.
AUDACY.
Is that what this is called, a boom?
Like that?
It's not a microphone? Oh, is this the boom?
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer.
I can because of the
And in
camera.
that moment in time,
Bring it
her
that way.
life changes forever.
And then turn. There you go. Perfect.
You ready to go, Larry?
And then what?
Because we know one moment can change a lifetime.
All right, here we go.
All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Investor Schooling or their guests and do not reflect the opinions of WPHT or Odyssey.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live.
You're hot.
The Larry Steinhouse Show.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. We are broadcasting live from Investor Schooling headquarters right here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I am Larry Steinhouse. I am the CEO of Investor Schooling, and I'm here to make financial education fun and accessible to everyone, including Deb.
I'm here.
Including Deb. So, I got to leave everybody, count everybody in. What are you doing, Omri?
No, I'm just trying to be visible.
All right, well,
in the
hold
camera.
on.
That's all.
It's better that people hear you than see you.
Yes. What?
It's not. No,
we changed things.
He changed the microphone around because what happened was people couldn't hear him, or they got too loud, or he got too low because he kept moving. So now the camera that's on him, the microphone is blocking the camera because we just did it 5 seconds ago.
Right.
He hasn't given me a chance to adjust the camera yet.
Which one is the boom? Is this the boom or this the boom?
This is the boom.
That's the boom.
Right. The boom is the right.
All right. I don't know the language. I don't know the lingo.
I mean, Debbie, you didn't even know how to use the headphones this morning.
I knew how to use the headphones. I didn't know how to use the thing that it's connected to. That's all.
I'll show you the boom.
There you go. Omri's going to show me the boom.
You want to talk about the boom?
I'm sorry, Phil. I'm not.
We're over here now talking about booms, and Omri is way under the table.
No, listen. That's true. So, listen, that's a fact.
And
so,
I'm glad I'm on this side.
Yes.
Because I don't want to get sprayed.
And that you build this wall underneath.
Right. Yeah, but you guys do your thing.
That's
but
funny.
let me finish. Wait, maybe I should finish the
And I'm
intro?
getting warm now. Now I'm getting warm.
Oh, you're going to take your clothes off
I'm
again?
gonna take off my shirt. I'm gonna take off my shirt.
Right, the last show, Debbie took her clothes off.
I didn't take my clothes off. I took my shirt off.
She took just her shirt.
Just my shirt.
From here, that's all I can see anyway, so it's okay with me. Right? Go ahead. Oh, you want me to go?
No, I tell you what. We keep forgetting that those are 2 separate shows.
No, I'm not forgetting these 2 separate shows.
So maybe you should do the intro.
He did
Maybe
the
you
intro.
should
Get back to the intro?
Yeah, I think.
Good idea.
Yeah, go to the
thank
intro.
Thank you for giving me permission. Okay. So for you guys who are listening to the show for the first time,
yes,
and have never listened to the
craziness
oddballs of us, we are a financial show, and on this show we discuss several ways of making more money. We concentrate on real estate investing, stock options trading, the stock market, and how to maximize your retirement funds. And you can call us anytime during the show at
855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
So the level, his eye level is kind of freaking me out a little bit because you keep getting lower, and I have other things lower. So
Omri, it's okay if they don't see your face.
No, it's just like your eye level. At least before we were at eye level. Now, as you sit down,
you know how men look at women, right? They never look them in the eye; they always look them in the heart.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. I'm just saying that like I remember going to see the rabbi once, and I went and.
You sure it's Shabbat today? You want to do that?
Well, I'm just saying that I think men can't help but notice things.
Well, as I said.
Yeah,
men
but
don't look at you, they look you in the heart.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that you have.
That was really kind, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying is that when I'm looking at a man in his eyes and I see his eyes drift, it's just like, dude, really?
I only look at you in your eyes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm just saying, like.
And wait a minute. Can we get back to the show? Oh, wait, I did it to Debbie for this time. All right.
Maybe the next investor schooling T-shirt should be a yoga pants or a yoga top.
Well, my thing is like, of all people, me really, some of the other people.
I'm sorry.
I think.
Let's go.
No yoga pants for us.
Exactly.
All right, let's get back on track. Come on. So I was saying before, because we were talking. We were talking before about, the views that you get for your house, and I was saying.
Wait, hold on a second. I still got to finish the intro.
I thought you were done.
No, we haven't even gone there yet. We're also live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, please leave us a comment. Even if you were on the last show, leave us a comment just so we know you're still watching. Because especially with these guys, I don't know if I would have changed the channel by now.
No, I wouldn't.
All right, I'm here with these guys who are Dr. Deb Anderson and Omri Morad, also known as the Immigrant. We have our sweet producer Glenn Page ready to take your phone call and put you on the air to discuss finances, real estate, the stock market, even politics.
Yes.
Or anything else you want to talk. If you want to talk about Debbie's heart, you can talk about Debbie's heart too.
About Debbie's.
And you can
Debbie has a big heart.
Heart section.
What's the phone number?
That's 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137.
I'm just looking right at my face when he says that.
And the Larry Steinhouse Show is brought to you by Investor Schooling. At Investor Schooling, we teach you things about money I bet you never knew. We focus on practical learning, and we will equip you with real-world skills in real estate investing, stock options, tax savings tips, and the secrets of financial freedom. Our headquarters are right here in Bucks County, but our online courses teach eager investors all over the country. RSVP for a free... I almost got through it. RSVP for a...
Free?
RSVP for a free... RSVP for a free class at...
investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, I got a question for you guys. When did I become the straight guy?
So, see what happened. We talked.
I mean, what happened?
Well, it's always about you and Omri. So
what happened?
I got a little bit of time on the last show, so I'm enjoying
you're supposed to be the straight guy.
I know, but I just I finally got a little bit of time.
I'm supposed to be the comedian, and he's supposed to be the comic relief. What happened here?
I'm just I finally got a little bit of a swing.
You should.
This one, so I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the time on air.
I agree. So if we take consideration that we're considering to add another hour.
Right, which is another station.
Each hour we are getting crazier. What will happen on the third hour?
I know we should start. Great. We should even drink. I mean, that would even be more fun.
I would say we should order pizza and drink and do all that in the studio. It would be so fun.
On the third hour?
Yes,
that would be great.
That would be
so
we'll talk about that
crazy.
on the first show. Actually, the first show we'll do that.
There we go.
The very first show we do on the other
station.
Party.
Yeah.
So for you guys who weren't listening to the prior show. We're going to go on another station after this show. Not yet, but in about a month from now, we're going to do another show at another station, also in Philadelphia, called Larry Steinhouse Presents, and it's going to be the same show, but not the same show.
It's 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 a
it can't be
show.
the same show.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same show, which is funny, but whatever. Anyway. Because PHT won't let us simulcast.
You know the story about the car show Top Gear.
Yeah.
And you know that Jeff Bezos bought them, and they started the Grand Tour on Amazon, right?
No.
So
I don't know anything about it.
You don't know
Jeff
anything
Bezos?
No.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos basically.
You said Joe Bezos. That's why I'm asking.
No, it's my accent. Maybe I'm sorry. Okay. So my point is, they were the most viewed show in the world in 2010, 11. And the problem is the star there, like every other star, did something he shouldn't do, and they put him on a relief.
Okay.
But the BBC basically refused to fire him. Nobody want to get rid of the golden egg rooster, right?
Right.
Golden
egg rooster?
The golden goose?
There's so many things wrong with that statement that I don't even know how to try to correct him. But go ahead.
What do you mean they put him on relief? He's just not on the show anymore?
They put him on relief. They stopped. They put him on relief. And what happened is Amazon came to him.
Okay.
And he took his co-hosts with him, and they started a show in Amazon. Basically the same show with a different name.
Okay.
And with a crazy budget of like millions and millions for every episodes.
Okay.
And
I'm waiting for that to happen to us there,
That's exactly.
I'm waiting for us to go nationwide.
Maybe.
We could start talking about finances across the nation. But
that story was to Mr. Amazon.
Finances for a change.
Yes. Maybe Amazon will buy us. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be going on something else, a couple other platforms. We'll talk about that as they come.
Sure.
What I think is interesting is that that Omri and I are involved in this, but you forget to tell us about it. That's what I think is always.
I don't, because I tell you when it's relevant.
Okay, you don't want to tell
I'm
us
doing
so
the
that
thinking, and then I have to make the decision before I can tell you about it, right?
Don't
so
you think
I have to say yes before I can include you, right? Because if I say no, there's nothing to include you about.
Yeah, but you can at least get our opinion as to whether or not we're interested in.
No. I know. I understand, but if I'm not interested, you guys are excluded. You could go do your own show somewhere else. But I think you missed the point. If they're putting the show on the other station, right? Larry Steinhouse presents on the station. If I don't want to do it, then it doesn't matter if you guys want to do it or not.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying if it's something that you're contemplating, you can always run
a lot of things.
You could always run when it involves us. You can always say, "Hey, I was thinking of this. What are you guys thinking about this?"
I'm really hoping my wife is listening at the moment.
Why?
Because she says the same thing, so I wanted to know that I do this for everybody.
That you never consider her, you just tell her, be there, that's it.
So
well, it's not that. I mean, I don't tell her I was thinking about it until I actually made the decision to do it. When I make the decision to do it, that's when I talk about it.
So me and you has very, very almost the same mind, and I tell you something. It's not because we don't include people. It's because sometimes our mind works too fast.
Right. Also we're still thinking about it. We're still contemplating it. I don't know what I want to do. Right?
Exactly.
So I go quiet in my head. When I'm thinking about something, I go quiet in my head and I think about it for a while. Before I announce it, before I talk about it, sometimes I'm like, oh, I got a great idea, and we talk about it. And sometimes you don't. All right, anyway, we got Greg and Lansdale. What's going on, Greg?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, man.
First of all, I would listen to the third hour show because the fact that, first of all, Saturday there's nothing on the radio worth listening to except your show.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And I enjoy listening. The funny part about it is 75% of your show has nothing to do with financial or
don't tell people that.
No, it's not true. It's so not true.
It's a comedy show, man.
I know, it is a comedy show.
You can hear them outside, next door neighbor's dogs barking.
You know what I tell people all the time? If Howard Stern and Jim Cramer got together, that would be this show. Except,
I would listen to the third hour, and there's 2 AM stations that I know of that you might be possibly going on.
Don't say them. Don't say them.
A couple years, I won't tell you the station, but a couple years ago, I think you were on a station one morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And I used to always forget about turning it on, and I turn it on, you're already done,
Yeah.
Money Chat Now.
Money Chat Now.
That was when I did Money Chat Now. That was great. So we had I had a fight with that station. And my fight with that station was, so I don't know if you know about this. So if you listen to that show was really well done. I would get here at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would write the show. I mean, literally write it. So what you heard in that show was me reading a teleprompter. That I would write the show. I would load it onto a teleprompter. I would then take a half an hour nap while my producer got all the video clips or everything he needed for the show, video, and set up. And then I would come in, and it was a half-hour show, that's all it was. Yeah. So my prep time was 3 hours for a half-hour show. And the producer kept coming in late and wouldn't start my show on that station.
I was here every morning. What are you saying?
No, I'm talking about the producer at the radio station, not the producer here.
Ah.
The producer at the radio station wouldn't show up on time.
Okay.
And I was furious because, here I am getting 3 o'clock in the morning, spending 3 hours writing the show, and they can't put it on the air because the producer didn't show up. So after that happened for the 6th time, I basically said, I owe you this much money, you're not getting it, and I'm done with you people.
You remember,
and I fired them.
We had a morning that they basically started a repeat, and during the repeat, they started
transitioned in.
Exactly. It was ridiculous.
What happened?
So the
producer didn't show up.
Yeah,
they started a repeat.
The system automatic starts a repeat when nobody do something else. But the problem is, when he arrived at 7:11,
7:35. The show started at 7:30.
Yeah,
I requested that they be in the office at 7 so they can make sure everything works.
Yeah,
at 7:35 we can't do anything. Anyway, Greg, no, we appreciate you calling, man. We appreciate you listening, and when the show goes to the other station, make sure you call Greg Stocker and tell him. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
No, don't.
And tell him that you went to another station.
Can I ask you a dumb question?
Yes.
Can I ask you a dumb question? If you're buying the time, why does WPHL control with you simulcast?
All right, so it's a good question. It's a good question.
To me, I think it is a good question.
It's liability, I guess.
Here's the answer. The answer is contractually, there's something in the contract that doesn't allow me to do it, and that is that's simply what happened. And and because of that, and I basically said, look, it's easier for me, it's easier for you. And they're like, well, people might go to the other station. I'm like, there's more likelihood that they'll go to the other station if I do the show after the show on the other station. And they don't get it, but I don't care. At this point, I'm like, I care about what's good for us, not what's good for them. And hopefully this is the best way to work it out. And I could, keep my show here, keep my show there, and it doesn't matter to me.
I'm going to have fun.
But it's weird, Greg. I mean, what can I tell you?
And I'm glad that you don't do a lot of politics.
Yeah, exactly.
When people do a lot of politics, I turn it off,
So what's your conclusion? Do you think we should do the third hour?
He said yes already.
I said, yeah, I'll listen to it.
Awesome.
Like I said, on Saturday, there's nothing on the radio to listen to.
Okay.
All right, so here's a question for you, Greg. And this is not an insulting question, but you're going to listen to us for 3 hours, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Oof.
What do you do with your life that you can't go outside and play outside?
What is wrong with you?
Exactly.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Oh my God!
Can I tell you right out?
What did you just do?
What was that, Greg? I'm sorry.
I'm legally blind, so there's not much I can do.
I know who you are.
Drive.
You called before. Yes. Okay, that is a great
and I
answer.
walk.
Okay.
I walk up and down my sidewalk, and now I'm to the point now. If sometimes I walk by my house and I get to the end of the street, I turn around and count back. So
okay, all right. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
And see the things I miss having cars. I miss my motorcycles. When I was younger, I used to go on cruises, and my one friend used to have a house at the shore. He died, so
Okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
All right.
That's
right. Now, I want to do this short show even more. Because now, Greg, and I mean
there
this
is a good intention,
right? Well, Greg can enjoy us for another hour, so that even pushed me over the edge even more. So we appreciate you listening.
I enjoy your show.
and call in any time, man. You're a featured caller. How's that?
Okay, that's great. Good talking to you all. Have a nice one. Try to get some sun. It is nice out right now.
I know. We're sitting here in the basement of the studio. And we're doing this instead. That's how much I love you guys.
Well, it's quite obvious you must. This would be a good day to go down to the shore and walk on the boardwalk.
I know. I'm actually looking at Facebook, and nobody's even watching us on Facebook. That's how nice it is outside. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing I don't have. I don't have a computer, so
Well, yeah,
yep.
I can imagine that would be difficult. I get it.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Thank
good
you,
talking with you.
Enjoy your day.
So much,
Take care of yourself. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Thanks for listening. All right. What else we got? Thanks for calling, of course, as well. What else we got, guys? Did that just bring you guys down?
No, it didn't.
That's tough. I mean, I think the one thing...
it's the opposite.
The worst part was I asked.
I know, right? What's wrong with you? Seriously?
It's the opposite.
But,
it's the fact that we enlight the day.
Yeah.
For a person like Glenn, it's
Greg.
I'm sorry, for Greg, it's go. I know, but but I saw the top and it's Glenn. I don't know why.
That's right.
And I think it refer very much to what I had a short discussion with Dan Zatowski on Thursday. Do something and know that what you do, in fact, other people, and that's awesome.
He talks about abundance and giving abundance and becoming abundant. He talks about that.
So what we're talking about, for you guys want to know, we had a guest speaker on Thursday, and Dan and I we're so much alike. It's amazing. Even what we teach is so much alike.
I agree.
And Dan was talking about giving back to the community, giving back to people, and that's basically what we do. I mean, look, there's no doubt we benefit. This, and it's funny. I say this all the time. People don't believe me. But the school barely makes any money. We really do. We barely make any money. But what we do, I know we don't make any. I don't like to say barely because I want people to go, I don't want to feel sorry for us. But what we do is, we have a camaraderie. We have camaraderie with the students. We have a great time. We're teaching people. We're learning. We have something to do. I mean, look, the school literally started when my ex-partner and I, we had nothing to do. And we started the school, and he went off doing other things. But we had nothing to do, and now the three of us, we get up in the morning and we're excited about getting up. We're excited about meeting the students. We're excited about talking to people. We're excited about buying real estate. So there's a bunch of benefits to us doing this that are not most of them.
We're excited more than everything to hear the success stories.
Yeah, it's neat to hear what's going on with the students.
When people are coming and say, I bought this, I did that. Yeah. We have 2 students right now, okay, individual, and one basically bought a house on a contract for themselves and then decided to wholesale it for another student.
Right. Which is wild, right? So the one student makes $10,000 just because he found the deal.
Exactly.
And the other student is buying a fix and flip because the other student couldn't afford to fix and flip.
And our joint handyman is going to renovate this house.
Oh, is it?
So it's going.
So it all works out.
It's
right. We have people who could do. I mean, it's a great. We need to get somebody else too.
Debbie asked. Debbie asked,
I need him also for my Delaware.
No. Debbie asked why you didn't ask us, and I think at some point I started to think we are family because at some point we became family.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at some point there are days that we spend time more with each other.
Oh, sometimes. First of all, we definitely spend more time with each other than we do with our families.
Yeah. It's exactly that.
I mean, if I take away the time I sleep in my bed, then the time. That's the only time. If you add that time in, that's the only time I spend more with my wife than I spend with you.
Mm-hmm.
With either of you. So that's just the way it is.
But then we fight like family too. So
We do.
We're like a bunch of kids in a car. Sometimes after 6 hours, we're ready to kill each other.
Yeah.
So
Debbie gets mad at me all the time.
Yes, I get mad at Larry all the time.
Sometimes Debbie's like a wife or a 16-year-old girl.
There's going to be a fight now.
Be careful. Watch yourself. Watch yourself, Larry. Watch yourself. Watch yourself, Larry. Watch yourself.
It's like, oh no.
It's not the point. I tell you what, we all experienced, but we all do our business differently with our experience. We all do our business differently. Debbie do something that you will not do. I do something that Debbie won't do. And that's how it works. And sometimes when we ask from other people for an advice, we don't get sometimes the advice that we are looking for.
No, you don't get the affirmation of the advice you're looking for. That's what happens quite often. Hey, I don't know. Let me give me an example. I don't know, I waived the late fee on a tenant, right?
Yes.
I waived the late fee on a tenant, and I think it was a great idea because they've only been late 5 times, so I waived the late fee. And then I might say something like,
no chance.
Why would you ever waive a late fee? And then this isn't a real example.
No, I get it.
It's purposely and not a real example. And and then the person coming to me will say, well, I thought it was a good idea because I don't want to start trouble with the tenant, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, now you basically
avoid the fight, yeah.
So if I would have said, oh, what a great idea, you waived the late fee, they would have said, oh, now I feel good. But then when I told them that they made a mistake waiving late fee, then they get upset because they're like, oh, he didn't affirm my decision.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Because we want to believe we know what we're doing. We want to believe we're doing good.
Right.
And then somebody come and tell us that we are not, and it explode the bubble sometimes.
You know what it's like? It's like when you came to me and you said you got vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I said,
you did?
Oh, no.
You got vaccinated?
Yeah.
And I said, no, you didn't. And your answer was you had to go to Israel, and there was only way in the country with the vaccine.
Well, that's
there were few. It's the worst decision I ever made. Okay. By the way, after the second one, all the.
Did you see there was a thing I'll post on Facebook about this huge long list of all the things that go wrong?
But hold on. But so
how many times the word kidney mentioned there?
There was a lot of blood clots mentioned in there, a lot of thrombosis, a lot of thrombotic events.
So I don't know about that. The point is sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we want to be compassionate, but sometimes with being compassionate, we're not telling people the truth.
And I'm not compassionate at all. I just tell people.
You are, but there's another word that Debbie like to add there.
So, Glenn, just put your finger on the button because I'm not sure if I can say this. So just be prepared to push the button. So there's a nickname for me, and it's called Compassionate Asshole. All right? And the problem is, that's it. I'm compassionate, but I am a,
whatever.
Right? So if I don't know if Glenn beeped us or not, but if he did.
Yes, I beeped you. We can't say that.
Okay.
I figured we're not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd warn you.
So.
So for you guys who didn't hear that, it's compassionate, and the word starts with A.
Yeah, no.
And
Stop.
ends in. Can
No.
I say that? I think I can say it starts in A and ends in whole. I think I can say that. And if I can't, Glenn beeped it again. But so, and that's really me, because I tell it like it is, and that's who I am. I tell it like it is, and that's life. That's reality.
And that's when Larry calls me a 16-year-old girl.
No, I call you a 16-year-old girl when you react to that.
We need to understand, and I refer again
like,
to what.
Why would I tell you this? I knew you were going to be mad at me, and it's so funny because if I think that when you say that, I knew you weren't going to like it. I knew you were going to be mad at me. And I'm like thinking, well, why did you do it then?
He's
right about that. You're doing mistakes that you know that you're doing the mistake.
No, I just don't always agree with how you guys do things.
No, I understand, but sometimes you do things because you are extremely motivated and you want to do, but you do something even though you know it's not the best
everybody
decision.
makes mistakes.
Yeah, that's
right?
another
Everybody
thing.
makes mistakes. So Omri makes mistakes. I make mistakes.
Yeah.
Debbie makes mistakes. I'm more experienced than both of you because I've been
Mhm.
doing this a lot longer than both of you.
Correct.
Probably 4 times as long as you guys have been doing it. And that's why I have more insight to different things that have happened to me. Like, I mean, my very first property when I was 18 years old, I made dumb mistakes. Right? The first mistake I made was, the tenant wanted to move in, and the property wasn't ready yet. Like, I told them it would be done, let's say, April 1st. I told them they can move in April 1st. And I wasn't done renovating the property yet. So they patiently waited for me, like nice people. I told them, hey, you can't move in yet. And they patiently waited for me. They moved in, let's say, the 15th, whatever the situation would be. And they're like, hey, could we have a credit for the half a month that we didn't move in? I'm like, no. Because I was 18 and I was dumb.
When they moved in? On the 1st?
Let's say they moved in 15th.
So it wasn't the situation that the contractor worked around them?
No, it was me renovating the place, which was another dumb mistake.
Okay.
And then I had people like, then you have people who, they were late, and you guys remember like this is where I came up with the lines on how I talk to landlords. So one thing, if you're a new investor, everyone knows you should call the landlord. But the problem is how people call the landlord is the mistake. And I learned this when I was 18 years old because I did this and I was like, hey, I'm brilliant. I'm 18 years old. I know everything. So I called the landlord and I said, hey, Deb, Omri's going to be moving into a house with me. Tell me about him being a tenant.
Am I supposed to respond to that?
Yeah, he's supposed to be saying things like, "Oh, he was the greatest tenant ever."
I'm trying to. You didn't give me the.
No, he's doing the call to the previous landlord.
He was the greatest tenant ever, right?
Okay.
Oh, he was so good. He always paid his rent on time. Oh, thank you so much. Goodbye. And then Omri moves in, and very first month he's not paying his rent on time. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a problem. Yeah.
But I talked to this guy. He told me, of course,
he's going to tell you he's great.
Of course, he told me he was great. Because he wants to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he's thinking, oh, thank goodness Larry called me. Or Debbie's thinking, thank goodness Larry called me because now I can get rid of this tenant by just saying that the guy did a great job.
Yeah.
The guy paid his rent on time. And that was the very first lesson I learned. 18 years old, I learned that lesson. So the very next apartment I bought, and the very next place I rented, the conversation went very different. It went, hey, Deb, listen, Omri wants to rent from me. He said there were problems. He said there was trouble. How bad was it?
Right.
And then when I asked that question, it
you opened the
up
gate.
The door.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And it's funny because I got so many different responses to that. Some of the responses were like, I'm surprised they told you. Which is like, oh, well, yeah, I know, but what's your side of the story? And then they would tell me their side of the story.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people would say, so it could be that there was no problems whatsoever. And it's funny because that's when you catch them off guard. They're like, well, what are you talking about? There was never any problems.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, well, wasn't he late once or twice? No. And then it's funny because they convinced me that I'm talking about the wrong person, and that's when I know I got a great tenant.
Exactly.
Right? Or and it's funny because I actually have a recording of this because I did this to prove this. I had this whole conversation with the landlord, and it was a funny story because, like, the guy wants to move in. His credit score was not that great. He had some credit problems, but he told me he never, ever was late on his rent. So I called the landlord. Hey, I heard there were problems. How bad were they? Blah, blah, blah. And the landlord insisted, no, he always pays his rent on time. He always pays it, most of the time he pays it 4 or 5 days before. And how long he's been a tenant? 3 years. I mean, he said there were problems.
How you got the house back?
How bad were they? They said there were problems. How bad were they? And he's like, never. I said, are you sure he wasn't late at least one time? And the guy goes, oh, yeah. There was this one time he was late. He was in France, and he said that he had the automatic the bill pay in his bank checking account.
And it expired,
and it didn't work for some reason. Either he didn't set it or something. And when I called him and said, hey, the rent didn't come, he apologized profusely, wanted to pay the late fee. I told him he didn't have to. I mean, this is the story the guy actually gave me. Yeah. And then he said, but that's the only time. And it was funny because when I went back to the tenant, I said, hey, listen, I said, no problem. I said, I heard the story about when you were in France and you didn't pay your rent on time. He goes, is that okay? Is it okay? I mean, really was an accident.
No.
So I mean, that right there is like, yeah, I want you as a tenant. Please be all my tenants.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's why I press and I press and I press.
There's one more thing we need to be careful is when in the application the potential tenant is putting the number of a family member or a friend. And that happened to me.
Yeah.
So what am I doing is I am waiting for them to complete my sentences.
So real quick, so what you're saying, just because I want to make sure the
Sure.
When they fill out the landlord name, they put a friend or family member as the landlord with a phone number, right?
Correct. And they tell them somebody will call you from this and this now.
Exactly.
But normally they don't give them a professional script. So what's going on is, I'm calling about John Doe, whatever, right? I understand that he rents from you and then I'm waiting for them to complete the address.
Oh, that's great.
And I also do the same thing about the time they are moving out. When are they moving out?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it's the same time. How long they live in your house. Yeah. And I want to make sure because many people with bad credit, which is many of my tenants, they have bad credit. They also try to push the limit. And when I figure out, you know what happened to me? You won't believe it. But this was an honest mistake. I called the previous landlord and I'm starting to talk. And the previous landlord, talked like a normal landlord. And then in the background, I hear the tenant.
Oh, no kidding.
I hear the tenant. And I didn't get it. I said, I hear her in the back. She said, yeah, of course. I said, what am I missing? What's going on? And she put it in the application, and I just didn't read it through. She's living with her mother. But she put the mother name as the previous landlord.
Okay, yeah.
That's
and
hysterical.
it was hysterical.
Wow.
It was just hysterical.
All right. Let's do this, Omri. Let's go take a commercial, and
Sure.
we'll come back and we'll talk about some other cool stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. Hang in there. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse.
All right, clear.
That was funny that
So you're going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com. I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn.
I almost went, I'm not going to the break until Omri says it.
Existed. Go to investorschooling.com.
I was about to do it. I was like,
no, you won't.
This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Listen, I know sometimes you worry about coming to see me because you don't want to invest in real estate, because you don't want to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants. I'm going to teach you a way that you don't have to deal with toilets, trash, or tenants, or even own any real estate and invest in real estate at the same time. You want to learn this, so go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and take a complimentary class this Thursday, and I promise you, no toilets, no trash, no tenants. Hey, this is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday. This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling. Did you know that you can buy real estate with absolutely no money?
Yeah, unfortunately, Larry, I had to dump that.
Our show, or if you read my book, Money Hacks, I talk about how to buy real estate with
the curse word.
This Thursday night to a complimentary class at Investor Schooling and learn more. Learn how to buy properties with no money. Learn how to make money at closings and learn how to make a monthly income. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday.
What? Sorry.
This is Larry Steinhouse with Investor Schooling.
So, yeah, same thing. Hard out, 59.30. Music, 59.
Sounds good.
Learn how to invest in stock options, and you need to learn how to make more money than you've ever made before. Why aren't you here?
We're going to be coming back.
Complimentary class this Thursday and learn. That's investorschooling.com. Take your complimentary class this Thursday. We'll see you there.
This program is paid for by Investor Schooling.
You're back.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Larry Steinhouse Show. I'm here with Dr. Deb Anderson and Omri Morad, and we are talking real estate investing. We're talking landlording.
We talk about landlording.
If somebody should really call in and ask me questions about the stock market, because the stock market tanked 700 points on Friday, and no one's calling me and asking me about the stock market. I'm shocked. What's the phone number they can call if they have a question?
700 points.
700 points.
Wow. 855-939-1137. Please call us at 855-939-1137. 855-939-1137. So,
one more time.
855-939-1137.
Slowly.
855.
Why don't you hold the mic like you did last week? Remember you held the mic all
don't. I see what it's doing to you. That's 855.
I'm getting so hot.
939-1137. You're the one who get undressed in the studio.
Debbie's taking a shirt off.
Yeah, exactly. You're the one who's getting undressed in the studio, man. That's 855.
I still have clothes on. I'm not getting naked. I'm just have a tank top on. That's all. You have to, preface that, please.
Stripper theme.
I'm like, what on earth? I'm like, all right.
We're referring back to what I said in the first show, in the previous show. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That your eye level was off?
The what?
That your eye level was off?
No, that was this show. I don't know. That being in Zillow every day is like watching porn.
Oh, God.
Are we going back there again?
And I'm saying
the first time you said that joke in the previous show, it wasn't funny then. Now you're back there.
It's not funny. It's serious. I'm not trying to make a joke. I think it's a very bad habit. If you really want to do something, if you really want to get the good deals, if you really want to find the right woman, get out of the screen.
How did we go from Zillow to women?
Get out of the screen and go outside and look and do things. That's why I'm using this analogy.
This is so...
The things that people do when they watch porn, they're not allowed to do them outside.
No, but oh my God. Where are you going with that? You should do other things.
It was just the way you said it.
Oh my God.
I just had a comment, right? Didn't you say that they should go outside and do things, right?
Things?
Back to the financial show, the Larry Steinhouse financial show.
Things.
No, that's okay. It wasn't things. It was just
things.
Okay.
All right. Wow. Moving on. Getting back to true.
Are you sure we want to do another hour after this?
That'd be more fun if we get alcohol involved. I think that would be hysterical.
So we should do that.
It would be fun. Omri came. You had that watermelon stuff last time. Remember
I know the watermelon margarita.
Yeah, Omri was here getting drunk, and we were on the radio show.
I wasn't getting drunk.
Of course you were getting drunk. You kept pouring the watermelon drink.
I know, but it's like I don't know, like 10 or 12%. It's ridiculously nothing.
10 or 12%?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I know you guys are we're talking about, doing we're going to be doing another show for you guys who hadn't heard the last show. We're doing another show on another station after the show, not yet, but about a month from now.
Is that official?
It'll be official if you guys are okay with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about doing the show and having alcohol here on the very first show.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, the funniest part about that was they listened to our show, and they had some cautions about our show.
While we're
so
silver.
I think it'll be phenomenal.
Yeah, while we're silver.
Phenomenal to do that.
What were
to
some
get
of the
drunk.
cautions that they said to you? Nothing you could say on the
They're
radio?
more of a wholesome station.
They're more of a what?
They're more of a wholesome station.
Wholesome.
Wholesome. So the discussion that we were just having is not appropriate.
They have religious programming.
Ooh, it's religious station.
Programming. So they kind of we're not sure if you fit. And I'm like,
Oh,
and
babe.
you know what my response was? We absolutely don't fit. That's why you should have us on.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes.
We will need to go to church? No.
Well, what would it be? Like a year contract or something?
They're big fans of Israel.
Okay, good.
What would they be? Like a year contract? Like
what?
What would it be? Like a year contract or something?
It would be
whatever we want.
Yeah, they usually start out with 6 months, and then then we decide.
It's not a trick question. I'm just saying
Yeah,
because if they don't, yeah,
but they
because if
could
they
cancel,
don't,
they could like if we do something wrong, they can cancel us anytime, of course.
Okay.
You know,
I don't know. Like
against
this
their
is
guidelines.
this is out of my realm.
They will have complaints.
Okay.
Because you'll be talking about taking your shirt off.
I
people
did talk
will
about
complain.
taking my shirt off. You guys are talking about taking my shirt off. But
No,
anyway.
we are looking you in the heart. And you are translating it very
So
badly.
this conversation would probably not go on that radio station.
It depends. It would probably be walking the line.
It would be
Look, we
walking
walk
the
the line. We walk the line at PhD too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We.
But they don't listen to us, so it doesn't matter.
Glenn had
Nobody-
to dump me before.
Well, that was you. You already knew that he was going to dump you for
Yeah,
that.
I know. That's why I
Yeah.
kind of did it. I kind of did it for fun.
But they don't
Just to
listen.
see if I wanted to see if Glenn was actually listening.
Glenn listens to us. He likes me. Glenn likes me more than he likes you guys.
Glenn, is that true? Do you like Debbie better than you like us?
Glenn's stay quiet.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Of course. All right, so
everybody.
next time we go out
Everybody
for
loves
lunch,
Dr. Deb.
next time we
You are
go out
not
for
so
lunch,
sweet.
Deb is paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Larry's card. I
With
have
my
it in my
card.
wallet.
Deb's paying.
Yeah, she said that to me on Thursday. And I said, no!
I said, come on, let's go out to lunch. Larry's paying.
Larry wouldn't let me pay. I tried to pay last time. and
No,
Larry's like,
you are definitely not paying. We are taking you. We appreciate you so much. We are definitely not paying. So Spicoli realized he put down. He realized what station it was, which is pretty funny. I can't say what station it was, but he put it down and he knew. And he's the guy after last week. I didn't think he'd actually be listening to us anymore.
Is he the one who was?
Yeah, he went off on.
Right.
He went off on Dan Harvey last week.
Yeah, that
was such a great show.
It was a great show.
That was
So
a
if you guys
great show.
didn't
I
listen
really
to this
enjoyed that
show. If
show.
you guys could go back to the archives of PhD and listen to the show.
That was a great show.
With
He was
Dan
such a
Harvey,
nice
where I
guy.
talked about him having
He
the
is.
black real estate investor group.
So
and
you know what surprised me about this show and
you
about
ever
this?
let me finish your sentence?
I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm allowing you to interrupt me.
Okay, I appreciate that. What are we talking about?
He was such a great guy. Like
He
he
was.
was,
Yeah,
he
he
was,
is a
he
really
was
great guy,
really a nice guy, and I thought he was very insightful. It was really nice to hear
Yeah,
what
I'm
he had
gonna
to
have him on the
say.
show talk about what he does.
Yeah, he was real. I really enjoyed.
Because we
I
didn't-
really
we didn't
enjoyed
have
his
any time to
company.
talk about what he does.
So every
Yeah.
person that heard the word a black real estate group basically translated it to a different way than what he actually explained last week.
Well,
I
the way
told
he
people
explained it was wonderful.
Yeah,
I talked to people. I talked to some liberal people that said, "Of course, black people should have a group just for themselves," and he said, "No, that's not the point. I don't want to create a group just for black people. I want to create a group that will attract
Black people.
black
Exactly.
people."
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it was a great explanation.
It's basically what happened in your Facebook posts that week. People took it to a very, very bad area.
Yeah, but it was both sides too. It was like
Yes, agreed. Yeah, it was
both sides.
How
Yeah, it was-
dare them? It's racist. Now, look, you got to understand that. I was also stoking the fire. And I did it intentionally because
Not
I
much.
thought it was going to be a great show, and we got got some new
a lot of
listeners out
dialogue,
it.
and
But I was stoking the fire on Facebook because I wanted it to be a great show. I already knew that Dan was going to be a great guest, so that's it was. All
He is
good.
an awesome human being.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Awesome
he was
human
really,
being.
really
Exactly.
very nice and really pleasant to talk to, and I thought he was really great, and it was really nice to hear what he had to say.
And to the stock option. Tell us what's going on. 7
so
points
let's talk
in
about the
one
stock market,
day.
because the stock market's going a little nutty right now because of Trump. Now, the interesting part is, you got the liberals going, the stock market, the stock market's crashing because of Trump. It's crashing because of Trump. Now, the reality is, it's not crashing because of Trump at all. I mean, it's like, I shouldn't say. Okay, I'm going to say yes, it is.
I know, just let it go.
I couldn't even explain what he wrote. It would be too complicated to explain what he wrote.
So stay on track. Yeah.
So I want to talk about like where the stock market was when Trump was elected and where the stock market is now, because everybody's like, oh, Trump is terrible. Trump, look what he's doing. I mean, these are liberals doing this anyway. Most people who understand the stock market realize that the stock market does this all the time.
Are you going to take example of stocks from before the elections?
Yeah, so let's talk about where we were. So let's say in November.
Yeah.
So November
1st.
Let's just look at election day. So on November 4th, which is the day before election day, right?
Yeah.
On November 4th, the stock market it closed at 41,794.
41,000.
And then Trump gets officially elected, and boom, the stock market kicks up, and it kicks up to 45,000. Okay, just under 45,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then it peaks back down, it falls back down in January, mid-January, because now he's it's official that he's going to be president, and then it drops back down to 42,290 something, 41,000. Let's just say 42,000. Then there's the inauguration, and boom, it pops back up to 45,000, right? And now we have the tariff thing. And, the big thing with the stock market is the money managers, when there's uncertainty, the stock market will go down. It's just the way it is.
What when you say 45,000, what is the 45,000?
The Dow.
The Dow,
yeah,
okay.
Right. Good. Thank you for clarifying that for me, or making me clarify that. So the stock market has hit a bottom since the beginning of the year. It's hit a bottom of 40,813, okay, which is right about where it was. In
November 4th.
Let's say September 2024.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's already gone up, and obviously the stock market closed down 700 points and was still at 41,500. So there is nothing crashing here. There is nothing bad here. It's just normal ebbs and flows.
The only thing that bothers me is that if we go back to the time before the Trump bump, before everybody realized that Trump got elected, it seems like during that half a year, maybe less, right? We have no increase. Everything stayed. If we go back to where we were there, you're basically saying that over 6 months there was zero increase in the Dow.
There's not. It doesn't. You're correct, but you're not. It's not accurate.
Okay.
All right, because the stock market will do this. The stock market will go up and down. You'll have 1,000-point bad days, probably twice a year. Right. The 1,000 points, by the way, is not a lot anymore. It used to be, if you used to be 1,000-point drop would be disastrous. Now it's nothing anymore because the stock market's at 42,000. So 1,000 points is nothing, right? It's not nothing. It's not great, but it's not nothing.
Yeah.
So now, a 2,500-point drop or 3,000-point drop, that would be like 1,000-point drop. 5 years ago. Where when I remember during COVID, when the stock market dropped 1,500 points in one day, that was nightmare. It was a nightmare. It was so scary. And then it kept dropping. Mm-hmm. So we're not experiencing that. We're not experiencing another COVID event. We're experiencing uncertainty, which is the tariffs. And look, it's funny because I understand Trump, because when I watch him, I feel like I think like he does.
Okay.
Honestly, I wish I could think at the level, the level in which he thinks, but the thoughts are the same. But he's just playing with bigger dollars and playing a bigger game than I am. All right, so I know what he's doing. Like when he threatens for tariffs, and he threatens he's going to do it, he has to do it. He can't not do it. He can't go, okay, look, the stock market just tanked 1,000 points. I'm not going to do the tariffs now because he'll look weak. He can't look weak. It's like when you have children, right? And you say to your children, you are not going out until you clean your room. And then your kid comes to you an hour later and goes, well, I kind of made my bed. Can I go out? Okay. and then the room looks terrible, and now you've just lost, and the room will never be made again.
You're weak, like you said.
Right, it can't be weak. So it's the same thing with this now. The rest of the world, our children, especially Canada, with the child Trudeau running that country, and he can't look weak. So even if he likes the idea of tariffs or doesn't like the idea of tariffs, as soon as he says I'm going to do it, he has to do it. Now, there are big advantages to tariffs, and one of the advantages are people are going to start building here again. The disadvantage is that Trump can only be president for 4 years. He can't get another term. So everything that he puts in place right now can be overturned by either a Democrat or a Republican. You know, if we get a rhino in there. And that's unfortunate because it may not carry to the next term, which means that everything that he's doing will be temporary. You know, Biden was doing this whole thing about EV cars, electric cars. You know, 2035, we're gonna have you're not gonna be allowed to sell.
He took it off,
a gas car. I mean, how dumb can you be to think that we're ready for that?
Yeah,
that's all we ever said was wonderful idea, but you know it's going to take 50 years for that to happen, not 10. You know, you could sell the cars, but you got no way. You don't have the infrastructure to charge the cars. Now, of course, you got the Democrats burning the infrastructure because they're that dumb. But that's a different thing that we could talk about. But the stock market is not going to stay in. Now, my prediction on Monday is we're going to have a down day. 400 points, 500 point down day. And Monday is the day to buy all the stocks you can buy. Buy whatever companies you want. I would recommend companies like Boeing would be one. Ford would be another one. AT&T is kind of hovering there. It's not a great one, but it might be great for covered calls. These are some of the stocks that I would recommend you buy. Have you seen what silver's doing?
35?
Silver's at 35 now.
Yeah, 35.
Now, I believe that silver within the next 3 to 4 years will be 100. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to be at 100. And it needs to be at 100. It should have been at 108. Gold keeps breaking records. And silver keeps breaking. Now, I put a post the other day that was accurate and inaccurate at the same time. I put a post that at 35, silver is $3 below its all-time high. Now, that's not really true. Its all-time high was actually 50, but that was a market manipulation that wasn't real. It was somebody playing games in the market, and they actually made it go up that high, and then it instantly shot back down. So I'm not counting that number. I'm counting the real number. To me, it's 38.40, and when it breaks through that, that's when silver is going to be incredible. You know, you got people who were buying Bitcoin. And I did this comparison in class the other day.
Where are we with Bitcoin? Like 90,000?
Bitcoin right now is at 82,000.
82,000?
Right. So Bitcoin in the last year. Wait, let me see if I can see this. See this because it's an interesting statistic, an interesting number. Bitcoin in the last year, over the year, is actually up 18%. You know, I don't know where it was when it hit 100, but it wasn't there for very long. So it's up 18%. I'm going to show you what silver's up for the last year. And see how it's interesting that, you know, when somebody's over here, if somebody's on the right, you need to go to the left. When somebody's on the left, you need to go to the right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in politics, though. I only mean that
I think I just got lost.
So he was in Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm buying silver.
Okay.
Like, what was wrong with you? You're buying silver, ha 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 ha. Bitcoin's at 100, blah 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 blah. We're gonna go to 100, da 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 ha ha. So silver over the last year is up 40%.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So silver's up 40%, Bitcoin's up 20%. Who was smarter?
Okay, I see.
Now it doesn't really matter if you invested, you made money. It's great, but just know that sometimes things like this will work out for you. All right. So I just wanted to get into it because I know people, they listen to the show. We talk about real estate a lot. We joke around a lot. And somehow I became the straight man again. I can't stand this. And I kept us talking about the stock market, which is great. So, and the VIX, so you guys know the VIX right now is at 21.5. So the VIX is the fear gauge. Usually when the stock market's pretty calm, the VIX is going to be between 13 and 14. Right, maybe even 15. At 21, it's high. It's not terribly high, but it's high. During COVID, it was at 88, which most people...
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'd never seen it before during COVID. I've never seen 88 before. So I'm not even worried about the VIX, but if you watch the VIX and you watch it go down, that means the volatility is going to be going down, which would be nice too. So there's nothing here to panic about yet. There's nothing bad here. In fact, I think it's just buying opportunities. And I like the ups and downs because, I made a lot of money in Boeing in the last 3 weeks because when Boeing hit 158-ish, I think it was, I just scooped up as much as I could. I'm not going to be able to recover from CCL and AAL because CCA and AAL went down too much, and there's nothing left in my plays. So I lost about 13, 14 grand on those two plays, and that's okay because I made it up in Boeing and then some. But yesterday, I bought a whole bunch of AAL stock options because at 11, I believe it's going to go to 13, and stock options at AAL will be a nice play. It'll be a really nice play if it goes from 11 to 13. So those are some of the plays I'm in. That's some of the things I'm doing.
There's a lot of buzz right now about the fact what basically motivated, you can say, the government to choose Boeing for the new fighter jet.
Well,
they try to save the company.
Boeing has the military locked up in the United States, and that's a great thing. It's just really a matter of whether Elon Musk is going to, find some connection there to some Democrat that's stealing money, and then that might be a problem.
Okay.
The Elon Musk I drove by a protest the other day, and I'm laughing. They have a big American flag.
Where is that?
It was right here on the Newtown bypass.
Okay.
Right? And they have a big American flag, and they're holding it backwards.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, you guys are... upside down, I can understand what they were trying to say, but they're literally holding it backwards. Like, they don't even know how the flag is supposed to be.
So the stars are here.
The stars are on the wrong side.
Really?
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking, this just proves how bad of Americans you are. You don't even understand.
It's a proof that it doesn't matter what's your opinion as long as you shout it strong enough.
No, it just proves that they're just that dumb. They don't even know. They don't even know how the flag is supposed to be.
I don't go with dumb because that's part of what Dan said last week. We only need to make a discussion. Why? Because if we don't make this discussion, we will be in a position...
No, listen to me. They're not even paying attention to what's going on. Elon Musk is not doing anything. Elon Musk is going to steal my credit cards. Seriously? You think Elon Musk needs your credit cards?
Steal your credit cards.
Yeah, because he could get into your personal information. Big deal. All right, look, we're out of time anyway, so we really can't even talk about this anymore. So maybe if we had another hour...
Ooh, we can discuss that.
Right,
I just want to ask, have you asked your spouse about that or yours?
Right, let's do this later.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you, Omri, for being here, and, of course, Dr. Deb for being here, too. We always have a great time. I want to thank all the callers, all the listeners, all the people watching us on Facebook, all three of you, including my mom. Okay. Anyway, if you want to take a free class, go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com, and you can learn how to invest in the stock market. You can learn how to invest in real estate. You can learn how to use your IRAs properly and make sure you never buy an annuity. All right, guys, investorschooling.com. See you Thursday.